Welcome back to Saga of Three Kings, session 83, entitled The Blue Mask, or just Blue Mask. Last session, group entered into the Tower of the Dark Star and have found a dragon cult, and they are currently dealing with them. That said, at the very end of last session, they were given the secret command word to be able to access the higher segments of the tower. They have coordinated with these ritual casters to the point where that they are not going to fight one another. Benson very quickly realized that they are standing on what is known as a field of magic, which is a permanent or semi-permanent installation created by magic users to basically strengthen and bolster their powers in that space and basically create a deficit of power for anyone opposing them on that field. That said, you know the secret word to go up.
It was
Hold on, I'm grabbing
some
my
kind of
notes.
dragon's name.
I got it.
Sure.
It was Salond and then Io for the top four.
Ah, you said the magic name. Sorry, Demon's Playhouse.
Ba-dum.
Said the magic
Oh man, I wish we all did.
Oh shit. So which one would you like to go? Which one would you like to go to? The very top, or just the next one up?
We were
was
told.
the, betrayer.
I'm sorry. I think we were told that there were more of the same on the next floor up.
Yes. And that the top floor has the observatory and the balcony, which you saw.
If we don't want to have to go through the same process of talking to these kind of people and convincing them what's what, we could just go to the top floor. Just an idea.
Yeah, just the top. That way we can figure. I think he said the guy that might be able to help us get into the room with the trader is at the top floor too. So, two birds, one stone.
Okay. If you do happen to do that, then poof poof bamf, you all kind of step onto the teleportation circle and appear in a different room. Inside of this room, you can see a number of shelves similar to the ones that you've seen in the floors that you've been in that have had shelves. And a very massive brass instrument, kind of segmented and set up on a what appears to be kind of like a Lazy Susan, but the Lazy Susan on top of it, you can also see that it's attached to kind of wheels. So you could spin it, lock it, and kind of move it into all different types of positions, down, up, all around, etc.
Investigation would be it. To figure out what it is.
I mean, you've been in a place that had something similar to this. It's a
It
telescope.
looks like a telescope to
Yeah,
me.
but it'd be. I'm gonna. Okay, it's a telescope.
I didn't want you to roll a dice because there's nothing to figure out.
I
here,
want to
Jody.
do it because it would be role playing. It would be like, oh my god, there's a cannon if I rolled bad.
No, it's
This
definitely
is
not
a weapon.
It's definitely not a cannon.
Right. It would be like this is a weapon. This we gotta.
You're too smart for your own good. There's no way I think that you, with an 11 investigation or 11 plus Arcana, would think this is anything but. I love you.
Also, there's no windows in here. I'd be.
There
Right?
are
Are there
none.
windows?
There's also
Huh.
no open ceiling. It's completely just solid surface above you.
Does there appear to be a mechanism where it could be opened?
Does not. There does appear to be a door that might lead out of this place. That'd be across from you. You kind of see it with like the red space there. And the classic roll 20 issue of being able to see just the smallest sliver of a person on the other side
Yeah,
of the door.
I saw a little bit of a token. I was gonna let it slide.
Ah,
I don't see it.
We're all friends here.
I
He's
moved
moving.
it sounds like he moved it. He knows what he's doing. Try to do it before draw attention to it.
It happens, man.
But yeah, the door appears to be shut. Based on what you kind of understand of what you've been told, this would lead out to the balcony that you saw the guy waving the mask from.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess we got to open the door then.
I mean, Don't you want to look inside the telescope?
We're in a room with no windows
Yeah, but
and no open ceiling.
I've seen all kinds of magical bullshit in my life. I'm pretty sure something's going on with this back.
I would assume so, but I mean,
I look in the
know.
telescope.
There you go. Do you need a boosties?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll make a table.
Yeah, there's an adjustable seat kind of at where the telescope
All
will
right,
lead you
then.
through. You can also see that near it there's a small little kind of half desk that has a book with different markings and indicators on it. Looks like someone's been tracking star signs and star movements. Looking at the material, you can make an Arcana check, Benson, as you kind of quickly gaze over it.
Oh, I gotta check on this one. 16.
Grok says, I could always help you if you need some help with that, Benson.
The two of you kind of consort and are realizing that the stars pictured here, you're not sure where they're from or what they are, but they definitely appear to be similar, or at least nearly exact, to the stars that you would see in your own night sky. And when you kind of peer through the artifice, kind of look up, you would see a bright blue sky, because you kind of got in here at the middle of the afternoon, or middle of the day rather. Yeah, it appears to be the sky you think is outside.
So the walls are an illusion.
or the
But I-
telescope has X-ray vision.
Yeah, but I can see them through the telescope, right?
You can't see the walls. There are no walls. If you look into the telescope, you're seeing the bright blue sky above.
Okay, I let everybody know.
Are there any markings on it?
No.
Benson, sit tight. I'm gonna see if I can't turn this thing.
Wait, before
Yeah.
you do, what direction is it facing now? Like, what do we know?
Based on your positioning, you can't be absolutely certain, but if you had to venture a guess, based on, because again, your orientation has shifted. You don't know if you're facing north or what have you.
Okay.
Unless somebody has keen mind, I think it is, where you can always tell it's what's north. I didn't think so. If that's the case, you're not sure.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna spin it around so it's facing towards the door.
Okay.
Maybe he could see past the door.
Well, are you lowering it so that it's pointing
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
door?
I'm gonna point it directly at the door if it
Okay.
allows for such a thing.
Yeah, it adjusts so that can happen, sure.
I'm just looking to see if he spots anything. If it can see through walls, maybe it can see stuff on the other side of this wall.
Okay.
Good call. Look through it.
Yeah, you're looking through it, and you see what appears to be 4 people kind of standing out in the middle of space, kind of walking around. One of them is holding something in his hand, and kind of annoyedly yelling at the other 3, and they're kind of very subservient looking. But there doesn't appear to be any floor or walls or anything. It's just 4 lads kind of hovering there in space. And you also see Rooklyn kind of floating there in space as well, closer to the instrument. But there's actually a point where you have to say, hey, Rooklyn, get out of the way, because his whole ass is just blocking the line of sight.
It's huge.
What is a door made of?
It appears to be made out of stone.
Oh crap! I was going to try to listen to that. Okay.
I tell them that we can. I relay everything. Of course, everyone knows what's going on.
What kind of door are we looking at here? Hinged?
Stone.
Slider?
It doesn't appear to have any normal mechanism on it, but it does have a door handle.
Okay.
And looking at it, it looks like the handle's kind of pulled inwards on a slide. Is the only mechanism that you can detect.
No obvious like gaps in the bottom or in the side.
No, it's pretty smoothly set inside of its space.
Well, it's 4-4. I don't know if we want to make friendly with these types going forward. It's up to you 3.
Maybe.
When I looked through it, Did it look like the guy that was on the balcony? I didn't see that. Someone
No.
else did. Sorry. I did not see that.
Well, I mean, we can always go in if they start talking with us first. We can try to make friendly, but if they attack us, we can, fight back.
Better who talked first.
Okay.
I take out my staff of fire and have it ready.
Okay.
I still have my wand out. Just heads up.
Okay. Brooklyn,
I'll put a hand in my coat pocket.
Are you attempting to open the door?
Yeah, I can attempt to open the door.
Okay. The second you pull the lever to the side, you watch as the entirety of the door just vanishes.
Huh.
And you can see that out on the balcony, there are the 4 people, as they were described to you by Benson. One's kind of a little bit further away, so you can't immediately see them. But you watch as all of the fanatics kind of turn and look at you and draw dragon-tooth blades very quickly, like in kind of defensive surprise. You can also see that the balcony spills out and looking out to the hedge maze beyond, which is still covered in mist from this position. And you can also see that it looks like the surrounding area around the hedge maze is not at all like what you remember outside the hedge maze looking like.
Maze for you. John, out of character, can you remind me what title was Hierophant that Caliret
yeah.
carried? What did he carry under as the guise of the head of the dragon cult, or his
You never got it.
standing as dragon cult?
Because you've never interrogated dragon cultists.
So just I can give you a quick out of character reminder, Zach.
Sure, please.
We found, excuse me, we found a note in the tower that said, "Caliret has fallen. I determine who will be leader or eaten by Tots Fig." And I think the traitor, was his name Ixand? Ixand? Blue Mask? Is that
Correct.
right?
Ixand, the one with the blue mask, yeah.
I'm not sure that helps you with your question.
Who's Ixand?
That's the guy that they
The
want
traitor.
to kill.
That's who we're trying to find.
Oh.
So we should, if you want to talk to them, you might say something like, "Hold, we're here to find the traitor Ixand," or something.
Well, Grok can say that too.
You're allowed. You're the one that knows names.
Well, so you're up front, but I mean, if I could move up front, I would say that. I would
Yeah.
say that.
I'll flash the badge and nod towards Grok. Drop your weapons.
They don't drop them. They kind of keep them held, but just more defensive, less ready to pounce. And Tiefling Mage, similar to the ones that were downstairs, kind of comes forward and says, "You carry the mark of Ashmedea, and you know the name of our problem."
We
Well,
spoke with your companions two floors below. They gave us the passwords to this floor.
all right. And what, are you wanting me to relinquish this or something? And you can see that the Tiefling is holding what appears to be a blue mask.
Is Ixand among you?
No. Ixand has moved from this place into the place where we must put the mask, but we cannot go there as he has sealed it.
Perhaps we can help you with that.
I don't think it's possible. I don't know enough about this man to be able to determine what he might have puzzled out for a password. It could have been anything. A stupid phrase, or perhaps a name. You see one of the cultists kind of say, "No, it had to be a name. It has to be a name. That's what they said below. Celia and Ellis said that it has to be a name. Then I know not what name he would have used."
Out of character, we did know that he was a follower of Ashmedea, right?
Everyone except you folk in this tower is a follower of that. Yeah.
Yep. It would make sense to be that if they're going on with the same.
I don't know, where he's got the purple robe, I feel like there's probably a dragon we don't know about that he's serving or something.
Right. So if he's a traitor, would the name be the other?
do not know what it would be. We've tried several options. And the list of options they kind of throw out to you, the only name that sounds like something you would know or possibly guess was Caliret.
That's stupid. This shouldn't have been worth your time. Who's in charge here?
Me.
And you're
Well, the ones below believe
commander, sergeant.
them. Haven't really come up with a good title yet. The Scion will probably be what I do to take Caliret's place in it, but
No,
well,
no, that wouldn't work.
why not? He's dead. Someone has to fill his slot.
Oh, I've taken his position. I was his second in command. I was his propugnator.
Christian Vester,
Alive and kicking.
you've been turned?
I wouldn't put it that way, but I'm certainly taking a stand here.
Make a insight check, and then make a deception check.
48, 19.
Really rolling hot tonight. You would note that the reason why he asked what he asked is it sounds like Caliret made known his plans with you to people beneath him. And basically, from what it sounds like, is he had apparently wanted to exhaust effort to make you a part of the group. And the deception is good enough for you to kind of understand that enough to kind of say,
You're surprised?
why
do you think I carry this talisman?
well, again, everything is pointing towards you speaking true, but again, you were a very holy warrior. Although if Caliret could fall to the dark and to the greed of the Queen of Greed, then I suppose it's not unlikely that you would do the same. Well, we welcome you and your power to us, but our current situation is very tumultuous. We have a number of problems that have arisen. Ixend is very much putting a wreck in our efforts.
So I have to do this myself.
We've tried a number of different things. Fortunately, the only thing we can give you is knowledge of the beyond, what lies on the other side. There are 2 more chambers to this structure, one that rests above, and one that rests beyond. If you can make it to the next room, the Master's Chamber, in that space, if you speak the word Caliret, you will go to the place beyond. In the place beyond, you will find Caliret's most secret library and his most secret pathways. That is where the mask must go until it is needed. The longer it lingers out here, the more I have to maintain a vigil over it, casting spells so that it cannot be detected. For you see, if your sister were to know its presence in the material, she would seek it out. For it is a very powerful talisman that allows a very powerful dragon to be brought across leagues to it.
Which dragon is that? I'm not
Tots.
Caliret. You're under new management. Gotta get used to this. I'm not a wizard.
Totsvig, the blue dragon of the Southron Plains.
Now, what's so wrong with that? Why shouldn't Totsvig come?
No, we want Totsvig to come, but not yet. Ulricus is not ready. Once Caliret died, there was a divide. Ixend wants to continue Caliret's plan. And if it is your goal to do likewise, then we might have issue. Caliret's plan was to allow Ashmedea to come back, but he was wanting to sacrifice her to now Nefondus. He had plans for that to be the case. Well, he also had plans for that to go completely awry, and for him to take the powers of both those great dragons of his own.
That's greed for you. Tell you what, the mask, I don't know a thing about it. Hand it to my wizard. He's in my charge. I'd like for him to have a look at it. My sage and my knight, you have no reason to concern yourselves with.
They hand the mask over to Benson.
Take it.
Okay.
Check it out.
Are you casting Identify upon it?
Yeah.
Okay. It is a very potent, legendary magic item. And there's its stat card. It does not require attunement to be used, it just needs to be worn.
Whoa.
And that's with Identify. If you want to legend lore it, you can.
Wow, that is really good.
Wow, Ricklin, look at that AC boost there.
That's nice. Especially if I had a higher charisma
Shouldn't have
modifier.
just handed it over.
If you want to legend lore it, you can. But that's going to take some time, I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for that one. I don't want to use that right now.
Its base properties do not tell you that it can summon Totsvig, so whatever that is, that has to be deeper magic.
Besides Caliret's library, what is so important about this place?
It is beyond, so it cannot be tracked or seen by the eyes of those on the material plane.
Sure, the beyond. But this tower, the rest of it, what's so important about it?
Well, the mask must go back into the beyond, so it cannot be tracked by her. If she were to find it, she would have acquired. She could
Very
possibly use it to summon Totsvig into a trap, giving now Nefandus a temporary body. Probably one that wouldn't hold him too long, but for a time.
Do you think that's the purpose of Ixen's betrayal?
Ixen
think
wanted
that he-
to move with Caliret's plans. He wants now Nefandus to be brought back in a physical body so that he can then kill the dragon and try and take the power of the dragon. He has Caliret's notes on that ritual. I do not think he is powerful enough. Ixen is a bit more aloof than Caliret was, of course. So we are not. But I am absolutely certain Ixen cannot do it. You were
So
able,
how much of a
but
I was just say how much of a fanboy is Ixen of Caliret?
it's not so much that he's a fanboy of him, in that he wants to do what he did not.
Got really picked up on fanboy quickly.
And do you believe that it's now Nefandus who they wish to bring back and replace, and not Totsvig?
Now Nefandus would enter the body of Totsvig.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying.
Then the ritual would kill both.
Right.
and
That
give-
would explain Ixen's betrayal, I think.
Right. We, on this floor, wish to not have that happen, and instead wish to follow Orbicus, possibly uniting with the Dark Flame Orcs to the north, who also serve that Black Dragon, and destroy the city of Bellum, scourge it from the earth, and destroy that Shadow Dragon. That is our goal.
Grok would ignore that statement and say instead, our group also wishes to stop now Nefandus' plan.
There are two other sects that have arisen, however. Unfortunately, we are closely aligned, but not exactly. Below us is another group that has decided it's necessary to understand what Caliret's ritual means, and then possibly destroy now Nefandus without taking a body, and granting one of the dragons that power. So far as we understand, Orbicus is not for this plan. Neither is Totsvig. Ashmat has not been reached out to yet. And then the following group of cultists, I believe they're on the 3rd floor. They wish to commit to a ritual that they are preparing here to create a beacon for Totsvig at this place so that she will communicate with us and we can alert her to what is going on here. I believe their plan and hope and goal is that she will come here of her own power secure the dragon mask before it is broken and its magic used, and then take this place as a lair, maintaining a position of power close to Bellum. However, this will be known by Lady Christinger, and they might move against us here. They might have some more issues with our headmates and the like, but I'm sure that if they committed to a fight, the armies of Vellum might be able to destroy us if we only were behind one dragon rather than 3.
Interesting.
It's definitely not a very aligned plan there. There's a lot of differences in that.
Oh, then there's the group on the 2nd floor, and they're assholes. They're pretty much just stabbing anyone who enters into that space.
We
Out of character,
stopped there first, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the floor.
Yeah,
like,
don't worry about them. I'm being thorough in rebuilding this organization. The 4 of you have served me well. I'd ask that you flee this place. I don't wish to have any ties to it. I don't wish for you to be followed. I'll handle the mask. I'll handle Ixen myself.
You are the new scion. Where do we go? We are your servants.
What has become of Caliret's old castle?
From what I understand, it has been removed from the material. We were not there. We were not called upon. He trusted further the soldiers of other factions. We were meant to try and keep the dragons away from that fight, other than Freemouth.
Smooth Brain.
I'm sorry?
Smooth Brain, that's his name.
I don't get the joke. Why are you
It's
calling-
going in the archives. That's his name.
Smooth Brain?
Yes.
I don't get it.
There's an E after the TH. It's important.
Smooth. Smooth. That's a smooth. Smooth it?
Smooth.
Interesting.
That's how we spell it.
Okay. I will take note.
Anyway, out of character. Is Moodus empty? I
No.
need a place to put these guys.
If we don't ever plan on bringing the bronze dragon back, her lair's empty.
I'm having the
What about-
weirdest time with my green screen. So like I shaved my beard off because it was giving me trouble, but like it seems to be like putting like a digital shadow like on my face, so it makes it look like I have this like digital beard. I'm sorry. Keep going. Continue.
What about that fort that we had? What are we doing with it?
What fort do we have?
That very first fort where we killed the crows?
Red Ball?
Phalanx?
Yeah.
No, both of the forts were taken over.
Yep.
Yeah, they were
They're held by
taken
the
over
honor bound.
Moodus.
Phalanx
Honor
by one, Red Ball took the other.
bound.
What about
I want these guys out of here. Is what I'm saying.
what
Bronze
what
Shrine
about
is a good option.
what about
Shrine
what's her the green dragon's old lair?
Oru?
Oru's old
That's
lair.
too close to Moodus. If it's
No,
not
Bronze
empty.
Shrine's a good option. It's isolated and it's somewhere we can watch. We have that circle.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good idea. Good work.
So what are you telling me?
Good follow up, Jeremy. Yeah, you'll retire to the Bronze Shrine. Make
think-
no contact with other members of the Dragon Cult. I
Okay.
will summon you myself if you are needed.
We will make our way. You see them kind of move over to the teleportation circle and speak the name Totsvig.
Woo!
Or not Totsvig, they say it's the first floor. They speak the name of this one, Salon.
Nice.
Okay. So now that we're all thinking, what do we think the name is to go up to the next one?
He
Because
told
I was
us.
hoping
He told us. He said it's Caliret.
no, that's to get
Caliret
into
takes
the
us to the
beyond.
library, but isn't that where the guy's hiding?
No, the guy's hiding up there because I'm guessing the only way to get to the beyond is to be in the master chamber.
You have to be in the master bedchamber, speak the word Caliret on its circle to go to the beyond. You cannot get
Yeah.
there unless you're going from the master chamber.
That's why I wanted to see if he was a big fanboy of Caliph. So I was thinking maybe he used something of something Caliph is called like Hierophant or something.
So the top
Figure
floor
out
is
the top.
Io, is it not?
No,
Yes.
that's the floor we're on
That's
now.
where
yeah.
we are right now.
They would have
I
said
thought that was the floor.
they would have said Io to send down. Sorry.
Okay.
I said
That's
Salon
fine.
like a dum dum.
Have we been to Salon? Was that the third
That's
floor?
the-
We skipped that one because we thought it would be more of the same.
And
as the
based on
second
what
floor.
they just told you, it is more of the same.
So, ideas for passwords. If he's a traitor, then it might be Alron or Naunafundus. Those might be names.
They didn't try those
Okay.
names.
We can try. I'm not against trying.
Remind me, I do need to empty the other floors one way or another. So,
Yeah, we can go back through and clear
And
the
you've already tried the name Now Nafondas, I believe, on a teleportation circle. If it was a spot, it would have sent you, and you haven't. Or it does not do so here.
Did we try Elron?
I don't believe you have, but it's not it either.
Okay.
hey, Soegardis has a
I'm gonna try
cool tip for you
Hierophant.
about powdering your chin.
Powder my chin?
Powder your
Yeah.
chin would help the
Elizabeth.
reflection.
Okay. It's too shiny, and that's why.
It's probably reflecting the actual green.
That's funny. All right.
That makes sense.
Well,
Go get some flour.
Or you're just green.
Tabu di babu die.
All right. You guys want to try Elrod?
He said it didn't work.
Oh, it didn't work?
No.
Nope.
Oh boy. Well, let's all pile on, and I'm just gonna start rapping out names.
Okay.
Do we do Freemus?
Joke of Vertas, Persia, Chance. Oru.
Okay.
Oru's old name, which was
Andy's thing to remember.
Oh, Jesus.
They're all Andy's things to
unfair.
remember.
I'd have to look so far back.
that
in
is
my notes.
that is specifically in his corner, but that's still not fair.
I will look for it while you think of other names.
Green,
Freemus.
green, traitorous machine. Reggie.
Reggie.
Yeah, no one else is trying.
So the red dragon, the red dragon
Trissinger?
is still alive as Ashmad.
Yep.
So living
There's-
dragons, we have
There's
blue is
Orbicus.
Totsfig, Ashmed the red, Orbicus the black.
But I don't know the name of the bronze dragon. The brass dragon is called Fainuk.
One Eye was the name we knew for brass, but it had a formal name also.
Yeah.
Fainuk, and then Salon is the silver dragon.
What was the name of the green dragon before it became Oru?
I'm looking. I
That's
think,
what counts.
I
We
think
said
it
it
was.
was
I
Andy's
think it
problem.
began with a K.
Told you it was Reggie.
Did it begin with a K, John?
Did begin with a K.
Fudge. Okay. Now.
Kevin?
Yeah.
All right. You can make intelligence checks, everybody, and if I get
I'm so gonna get it.
a good result here, I'll just give it to you since you're so close. Benson would kind of
14.
burst out aloud, Kenkazarat. And as he says the name,
I was seriously getting there in my notes. I am not kidding. I was.
That does not
I,
sound familiar at all.
no, I'm not kidding.
no worries, no inspiration for cool note taking, but
I mean, I knew it was a K.
yeah, you appear inside of the master chamber.
And
Inside.
since we're all patting ourselves on the back, Reggie was pretty close, and also
Yeah,
the
you're right,
only
yeah.
other guest.
You see,
I said Kevin.
Yeah, you're right.
you see a series of bookshelves, and kind of they're kind of half bookshelf, half wardrobe. The robes and stuff that are hanging from them look pretty familiar. They're very similar to robes and attire that Caliret would wear. Boots kind of saddled next to it, very similar. You actually recognize one of the outfits that's sitting inside of the these kind of wardrobes, Christinger, as the robes of the Hierophant of the Osirian Church, kind of just lingering in there as if they were just, they're absolutely
I'll
out of
stuff those
place.
in a bag.
How the boots looking?
Boots looking sharp, but also very massive. But the thing that really draws your attention immediately is that in the bed, laying there, is a body, blood splattered all over the place in the chamber.
Has
Stuck
Raya been
right
here?
in the center of the body, just breaking the rib cage and smashing it. It's a very familiar looking warhammer.
Of course.
You can
How'd
see
that
that the
get
bed
there?
is kind of broken underneath the weight of it. as if someone dropped this from a very great height and smashed down on this body as it was laying here in rest.
So Ashmedea probably had the
It was
hammer
Caliret's hammer.
in the other realm, right?
Ashmedea's hammer.
Did we?
Last
that-
place we saw that
What
was with
ultimately happened to
Ashmedea.
it?
Is that
She
possible?
took it.
Is that a thing? Where in whatever realm whatever hell Ashmedea is in, she could just throw something out of there into the material realm? Is that a thing?
I don't know. She ripped a bunch of shit out of our realm and threw it to hell. So
Well, and she had to get that sword to Caliret somehow, and Caliret could use that to walk through anything. So she probably could have opened a portal and just sent the hammer through.
So if that's the case, is this guy on the floor on the bed here the guy that they were looking for as the traitor, or is he the new user of the hammer?
Well,
If he's a
if he's
user,
a
he didn't
user
do
of
it
the
very
hammer.
well.
Yeah,
He did. Yeah, he messed up bad.
Definitely.
all right, we can't rule out that it wasn't an accident.
That's
Or
definitely
really well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
I told you not
Opened
to
a portal to his own
I-
shelf.
definitely
I
letting
will
her
approach
have
the
to
bed
work
and
on.
check his pulse.
Yeah, he's dead. Looks like he's been dead for quite a
We
while.
were too late.
You were in there for quite a while yourself, in the hedge maze. Yeah, definitely you saw him alive, like maybe 4 or 5 hours ago. The hedge maze having taken that long, but he couldn't have been dead. Like he was probably dead pretty soon after you saw him.
And I definitely saw members of the dragon cult dragging him away from the balcony. Yeah.
Yeah, and based on the layout of the room, you think he might have he must have gotten free and got.
He
to the
got
trap
free of
door.
them, got to the elevator,
But
and
he
then
didn't have the mask when he did so.
decided to take a nap. And oh boy, the worst happened. I guess I'll look above the bed. Is there a great height above this?
Nope.
Or is it just some magical means
About
of
15
somebody
feet. 15 feet up is a wall or a ceiling.
planting the flag in him? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, kind of looking around the room with Benson's not there. Benson would see lingering magic all around the bed and above the bed, like around the ceiling. Conjuration magic.
So I conjured this hammer.
I think, Rock, if you want to take a second and investigate with Arcana, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh, okay.
Assume Benson's helping. 22.
So 22, yeah.
Yeah. So you'd see a very strange kind of lingering magic that's pointed out to you by Benson. And as he's kind of like investigating it, you're investigating it, you get the smart idea to kind of look underneath the bed.
Yeah.
And on the underside lining of the wooden bed, you can see a Conjuration Ring. And as you kind of look at it and start reading it with Benson's help, the two of you translate that. If another lays here, my hammer will return to end them. So apparently a conjuration spell that summons the hammer back through space to this bed if someone tries to sleep in it other than its actual master.
Jeez, somebody's possessive.
And Goldilocks.
You met Caliret.
can we
Yeah.
move the hammer?
Yeah, it's absolutely movable.
Better
Pretty good
question.
hammer.
I'll
Can you
pick it
move
up.
the bed?
Yeah, we should get rid of this bed if somebody else ever
No,
lays
you should
down
bring
here.
it with you.
That's the ultimate weapon,
Put
yeah.
someone down onto it. Yeah.
We cast sleep
That's
on
some
them and we put them in
sweet
the
trash.
bed.
The spell or the magic is lingering, so the effect is a one-off. It doesn't happen again.
Boo!
It's not. You can't set it up as a
Boo,
cannon,
DM.
like lay somebody on it to shoot through them and into another person.
That's awesome. No, come
take
on.
the
Just like
bed
a
and,
bed
like-
on a battlefield. You're using it as like a.
That's right.
No,
We're
we-
never
we
letting go
We
of
just
that.
roll up that mattress and swing it at somebody.
I'm just gonna open a mattress firm in Bluegate and have bad guys come in and try this thing out.
Or cast like a max level, like 9th level sleep on one
Hang
person. Lay them
I
out on a
think,
bed as they're
I think
unconscious.
the jig would be up awful quick there, right?
Yeah. No, what
No
we
way.
do is we take the bed with us,
How
we
would
cast
Word
a
ever get
large
out?
on it so the spell's still active and the bed's huge, and we convince one of the dragons that we don't like to take a nap on it, and the hammer just crushes them.
Yeah, or give
I'll
it to.
be goddamn. I
just
heard
give
this
the
mattress
magical
is
bed
so
to them.
comfortable you was never heard from again.
They put it in their dragon horde. They sleep on it. They die.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'll pick the hammer up, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, the hammers. We played with the hammer before. It's a +2 warhammer. Or maul, sorry.
Really good.
+2 maul.
Tried to give it to us before, also.
I think Brent's the most likely to be capable of using it, but
Raya, you would immediately know that that's an item that you gave back to someone.
Yeah,
And,
I
they
refused it.
probably would want it back if it were removed from their hoard from a great
Yeah.
distance. That thing
Yeah.
literally fell through hell and slammed onto that guy. Like,
That's perfect for Rookland. He'll take it.
but
that's not his fault.
oh no, certainly not.
Then again, you did sell a faulty product. So
Raya's not here to notice it.
anyway,
Sorry, my brain's
should we
just-
go to the Caliret floor?
Well, we need to find
Do
the
we want to
light-
say a few words?
Yeah.
Good job, Ixon. Anything else noteworthy in here?
Clothes. There's some books. Mostly just ledgers. It looks like Caliret's kind of accounting books and records have been kept here. You can kind of track back that he's been kind of mobilizing the Crimson Scarves, buying the Azmoten Knights, securing the conglomerate remnants that were willing to be loyal to him for some time, decades.
Can I search the room for just like secret levers or anything like that?
Certainly.
Okay.
You are
I am
certain there
taking
aren't any.
I'm taking the robes of the
The Hierophant.
Hierophant. Yes, the word got away from me.
It's okay.
His brooch isn't around here, is it?
No.
Dang.
You want a brooch?
He didn't come back and undressed. You guys murdered him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
His
that's right.
clothes that he was wearing when he died aren't here. The clothes that he probably wore at different times are here.
Yeah, I forgot we weren't.
And a nice pair of boots that are way too big
Hilarious.
for pets.
There are cobblers to fix the size issue. If it's really nice leather, I'm gonna
Honestly,
use it.
you can make
And
3 pairs
precious
of halfling.
gemstones.
You make 3 pairs of halfling shoes with the boots that you have there.
Right,
No,
and if it's really nice leather,
That's really nice leather.
Pull a bench and
So,
stuff them
I'm
full of
taking
diamonds
care.
and shove your feet in them.
Alec
fit.
Sam.
And now they're good sized.
you know what they say about halflings with big feet, don't you?
Are you saying Caliret
Big
on the
shoes.
platform again?
Yeah.
1 second.
Or no, we want to say yeah.
No,
yeah.
yeah, Caliret, so you teleport.
Caliret's the
beyond.
one from this floor.
Right. Bam. You appear in a chamber. The chamber is covered with carvings of dragons from base of the walls all the way up to the ceiling. Directly above you is the mark of Ashmedea that you've seen several times before, the draconic A symbol. And there appears to be a pathway that leads to the right. Upon coming to the corner, you see a massive fire elemental kind of
Oh, yep, spotted.
standing there on the just against the wall. Appears to be holding something in its hands and is standing next to a table.
Anybody speaking for
You can also hear a
Elemental?
noise coming from that way.
That same way.
It kind of sounds like something's being pounded.
I did not mean to do that. Sorry,
It's okay.
What you do?
I clicked the button.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't mean to.
Whatever it was, you killed it.
Naylan,
I'll approach.
Yeah.
you're a bad cat. Want to play D&D? I love D&D. It's a good game, guys. I want to be a part of the party.
No.
Okay. Jeremy doesn't want you to be a part of the party.
Damn.
He took it well.
Yeah, he did.
He's a good boy. As you kind of come around the corner, you would see that it's standing there next to a kind of rest table, which has a number of teacups kind of set out at the table. The fire elemental appears to be holding a teapot, which you can see is kind of steaming. And there does appear to be something kind of every so often kind of peeking its head out of the lid. From what you can tell, it looks like it might be some sort of like water elemental inside the teapot. It's kind of swirled with a greenish color, which I presume is tea. The earth elementals
I love tea.
appear to be slamming against their fists against a large stone bowl, basically acting as it's the mortar that goes into the pestle or the pestle that goes into the mortar. Either way, they're that now.
I think the pestle's the bowl.
I think the mortar is the bowl. I think you're right, but I'm dumb. So.
That's the exact opposite of what I said.
I think the pestle is
the mortar is the stick. I thought.
I'm Googling it.
Okay.
Which one? Which?
The mortar is the bowl. The pestle is the stick.
Got
Damn.
it.
All right. Well, what's up, guy?
Sits there with the pot in hand, continues smashing, and there's another earth elemental that's just kind of in like a ball shape. It's kind of like just kneeling down with its arms out in front of its body.
You guys working hard or hardly working?
They go, hey! They walk over to the water elemental water cooler, and they just kind of stand there with you. Did you see that new?
Big tournament coming up.
Big tournament coming.
Big.
There's a kind of staircase that goes up. There's a small hallway that leads off to the left side of the hallway ahead. You can see there's a door at its terminus. Moving out onto the steps. The steps aren't high. It's not like a very steep ascent. It's kind of just like a slow gradient upwards. The steps being very wide and not very tall. At the top of them, you can see a door on the right, and beyond that, you can see a door at the far end of this chamber. There is kind of a sound of someone talking to themselves coming from somewhere further in the complex, but you're not sure where.
So do you want to check room by room, or do we just want to...
Fuck, I've never been here. As far as I might have been here. I do not know. I do favor left.
I remember that. Let's go to left
Hey,
door.
boss.
I'm gonna go check out this door to the left.
Okay. Baby boy. No.
Is Raya just gonna happen to be in one of the doors?
Okay.
It's got shadow politics to take care of.
You are going into the
death room.
Death room, right. So it's obvious at a glance as you open the door that this was once a wizard's workroom. The work tables are covered with notes, alchemist flasks, beakers, braziers, and other arcane apparatus. More startling is the whirlwind occupying the center of the room. 10 feet across and stretching from floor to ceiling, it swirls endlessly, revealing a number of sparkling gems within it. And I will place a notation for that. Bear with me here.
Also, the stream is setting at like almost a black screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you want to pan that up just
Makes sense. Swiple. Whirlwind.
You said a whirlwind of gems?
A whirlwind of wind, but at the
Yeah.
base of the whirlwind are a number of gemstones in a pile.
Well, I don't speak wind, so...
I don't think it's an actual elemental. I think it's just these gems are making wind.
Oh no,
True.
the gemstones are swirling around inside of it. Thank you.
Oh,
That's accurate.
Can I figure out what it is? Arcana?
Yeah, sure.
20.
It appears to be something related to the chaos or elemental chaos. Based on the colors of the gemstones, you assume that those are raw elemental gems, which mean that they are bound elementals inside. Based on your noticed presence of elementals in the other chamber being used for menial tasks, you assume this is some sort of like repository for such creatures.
It's the birthing room.
I don't want to interrupt him.
Yeah, it just looks like it's like almost like a storage space for
Yeah,
them.
servants' quarters kind of deal.
That'll be on their like 15-minute break, you know.
It looked like the other ones were like making dinner or something. I don't know. I wasn't.
Yeah, no one really asked what the thing or what they were mortaring or pestiling, whichever.
You said it was tea. It was tea
No, I
leaves.
said there were.
The fire elemental was brewing tea.
The fire
with
elemental
a
is
water
holding
elemental.
a teapot, and inside of it is a water elemental that seems
Now,
to be kind of
let's-
off-colored.
Let's double back. I'm gonna like peek over shoulders, and
Sure.
I'm not gonna actively distract them from what they're doing, but I am going to approach and try to
Yeah, that's fine.
observe.
They
seemed cool with me walking into the room. I'm just gonna invade their personal space.
So
just to smooch.
on the table, near to where the elemental is going bananas on the mortar, it looks like there are a number of parchments. You can also see that underneath it, there appears to be a kind of drawn out with particulate kind of like ash and salt, a glyph, which Benson would quickly identify as a glyph of warding. What it does, you're not sure. You just know that if something were to happen here, that glyph would be set off. The other elemental that's kind of crouched down on its own doesn't seem to be doing anything. But the parchment's kind of near it. You see one that looks like it's a recipe, and you see two, maybe three more that have. There's like a dozen or so pieces of parchment with writing, but 2 or 3 more of them you think might actually have some sort of magic on them. Yeah, also in this room, once you kind of come around the corner here, near to the table where the tea is at, you would see that on the wall there is a scroll that's just been kind of set in a hook on the wall. Looks like a scroll in a hook hanging from the wall.
If I were to approach it, they don't seem to be bothered.
They do not seem to be bothered by any of your actions.
I'll pick up that scroll and I'll take a gander at it. I don't know anything about magics,
A
but
bunch of words in Draconic you don't understand.
I'll sort of like wave it around like, you guys cool if I... And then dip.
Yeah, they don't seem
Also,
to mind.
also, if I don't know if they speak common, whatever, but I would ask the one if I could lick the bowl when he's finished.
Well, looking in the bowl, you would see that whatever he seems to be kind of mashing up doesn't look like tea or anything. It looks like it's particulate kind of dust, like a very shiny, sharp dust,
I don't think I want to lick the bowl.
like gem
Said it
powder,
residum?
like a gem powder.
Oh. Well, keep up the good work, I guess.
How dare you?
I
I'll,
went to click down and I put myself in the wrong spot.
I'll get back to the hallway and I'll slip the scroll over to Benson.
Very
Or
quickly
whoever
identify
can read
it.
Draconic.
Yeah, very quickly identify it as a scroll of protection against fire elementals, and
Not here.
you also would note that I'm sorry, protection against earth elementals. That one, the one that was on the wall.
Could be handy.
Okay.
No, sorry, I had it right the first time. That is a scroll of fire elementals, the one that was near the teapots.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta figure out where this mask goes, I guess. I don't know.
On Raya.
Ah,
If you'd
I
read
don't
my
want-
DMs.
I don't want Ashenay I did. I don't want Ashenay to know, or Alessia to know that this exists in our person. We can always come back if we must have it. But if you guys
I
are
must.
keen,
What? I mean,
if people who are here are keen, we can take a look at other doors.
yeah, no, there's no reason to get rid of that
Yeah.
mask.
Opening doors time.
The door that you move up to, on the right side, opens as you approach it. Beyond it, you can see. Bear with me here.
map room?
A circular room. It's obviously a library study. Its walls lined with bookshelves that extend from floor to the gently domed ceiling about 20 feet overhead. There's a wheeled ladder that connects to a rail that runs around the curved wall, allowing access to upper shelves and sweet, very cool rides around the room if you were wanting to.
John, you want to pan the camera over to the room?
Yeah. Sorry, thank you.
You're good.
I should have shift pinged, but it didn't. The things I was saying. There's a delicate, ornate desk that stands in the center of the room, surrounded by piles of blank paper. A large map sits on the desk. Its corners held down with stones. The map appears to be a map of the Buddhist region.
That bastard.
And based on the positioning of the small little tokens that are on the map, we presume that he was here planning for the his last days.
Probably should have done a better job.
Wouldn't have been last days then.
Can I
Probably
check?
shouldn't have just dropped the whole bridge on me by myself.
Can
You're
I
up,
check
bud.
the desk and the other stuff around the desk?
Okay. 1 second here. You can make an investigation check.
18.
Exploring, you would note that all of these papers seem to just be kind of nothing, really. There's just empty parchments and no real documentation. But you do realize that underneath the desk, kind of on the right side, there are 2 small switches. And before you get a chance to hit any of those, the room kind of fills with like a gusty kind of nature just whoosh as all the papers kind of rise up into massive like whirlwinds of paper around Benson and surround him in a number of paper whirlwinds.
You're gonna get a paper cut to death, Benson.
It appears that those paper whirlwinds are sentient as they start to kind of move to attack Benson. They will,
Quick, Benson, read them to death.
they will get a
Use your super reading powers to defeat them.
He does have those glasses.
they will get a surprise round on him. And we will be fighting, so bear with me here. Go ahead and roll initiative. As it's paper time.
Fighting in a
gonna-
library. I love it. Love it.
I'm gonna catch shield.
Well,
I know I do that after
On-
you attack. I do that after you. I'm still learning that whole shield thing. It doesn't make sense.
no
to me.
worries. Yeah, you only have to do it once I've declared that it's a hit.
Okay, yeah, I keep forgetting that. That just seems really, really good to me.
So your AC might be sufficient to block.
Paper.
Your AC was not sufficient to block. Do you wish to cast shield on the first attack?
Yes.
Your armor class for the duration will now be a
I see
19
your
instead
initiative.
of a. So
I just want to be included.
of the
You're being a
four
real trooper.
that attack, only one will actually get through a paper cut, and it'll be for 7 damage.
Health paper.
Yeah, it sucks. It's like one of those like nasty kind of salty.
It really
paper
got like the
cuts.
webbing.
Oh yeah,
It's like it's one of those you didn't know you had till you washed your hands or like did something with hand sanitizer.
100%.
Benson would carry hand sanitizer.
100%.
He has the hand. I mean,
You really would.
He's got
He's
the
got
whole,
hand-
like belt
if you-
satchel.
yeah, you open up his robe. He's got pockets on the inside. He's got 2 pockets for hand sanitizer, 2 for lotion, some
That's-
for like just some casual deodorant he throws on his hands.
The sanitized hand of Mudis. All right, so Choni, you are. It's going to circle back to the top of the initiative. Surprise is over. You're the first one to react.
I really want to just cast Fireball just in the middle.
Okay, do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, you know that.
This could be your library someday. I mean, we're trying to clear this place out, but
But
whatever.
there was nothing in it from what I saw. I saw 2 switches, but all that paperwork was nothing.
But you're in
Alright.
the middle.
You
Yeah,
are
I
also
have-
in the middle.
I have my freeness gloves on.
That too.
Fire resistant.
Resistant or immune?
Resistant.
Ooh.
Do what you're doing. You said what you're doing. Go ahead and just drop the spell for me.
I am.
Okay.
Hadouken!
34.
Are you dropping it in a way that it won't hit your friends, or?
Yeah, I'm going to at least do that. I'm going to be nice with that.
Okay, so you're kind of aiming it
Box 'em.
at the back corner. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Even if I succeeded on my saving throw, that would definitely kill all of them. And you'll take roll a dexterity save against your own spell.
18.
So you fail, so you'll take half of 34, which will be 17.
17.
And that was the quickest fight ever. No, it wasn't. Till the fight music switch back to the atmospheric
Good
music.
job, Benson.
The entirety of the desk's surface kind of burns. You can see that the fire's kind of dying down on it, but it's blackened it entirely. All of the contents of the bookshelves go up as well. Just whoosh, massive flame. The only bookshelves that are spared are the ones near Grok.
You took
Turn around and
25
look.
points of damage in 2 rounds of combat. One of them was yours.
Can I look at the books?
Yeah.
You could have.
The books near you are not on fire, so you kind of pull
Right.
one off of the shelf. It doesn't have anything on the spine. And when you open the book, it's completely blank.
If I flip all the way through, there's nothing in it.
Not a thing.
A
Same
monogram
with
on
the
the
book next to it. Same
book.
with the book next to that.
Okay.
So he was a faker.
I'd like to check those switches out on the bottom of the desk.
One on the left or one on the right.
Let's go left first.
Second, you hit the
He's
one
also a
on the
left
left.
man.
You hear a sound kind of dragging from the left side of the room in front of you as the wall just shifts behind the bookshelves, slamming into place, leaving a massive kind of tread of where the wall was kind of settled. Beyond that, you see another desk. It looks exactly the same, just slightly smaller and slightly more well kept. On the right side, you see a teapot, a couple of teacups, and the seat in there looks a bit nicer. No bookshelves or anything. Nothing
I let
crazy.
the guys know there's another switch as well for the right side, but we'll look at this one first.
What is this over here in the corner?
Another small table. It looks like that small table just has a couple of small statues on it. One of Ashmedea, one of some orcish-looking creature. All of them are made out of gold. And then the third one looks like it's a statue of Caliret.
John, you want to pan the camera out or zoom
Okay,
out a little bit?
yeah.
The
Sorry, I'm the worst.
I'm trying to help.
Excuse me.
You're doing great.
As like innocently as possible, Grok is going to take the statue of Caliret and put it in his pocket. He's not trying to hide it necessarily, but he's just going to sort of stuff
Sure.
it in there.
I'd say statue-wise, they're probably about the size of like an Oscar, like like an award.
Yeah, so like in his mind, he's thinking that when he's alone, he's going to relive beating the crap out of Caliret. He's like an action figure.
You gotta make a Grok one so you can be like,
He's gonna have Ninja Turtles.
oh no, oh god, I wish I had. I've got one. No, I've got two. Hold on.
Take your time.
Perfect.
No,
Yep.
no, no,
Exact.
no,
That is
no.
exactly what's going to
Oh.
happen.
Grok, your shell is so big.
That's not what Rock is thinking, but okay.
That's what Grok would do.
Croc's a lover, not a fighter.
Like straight out of Spaceballs. We love it. But yeah, that's it. If you kind of look through the desk, there's basically nothing until you slide open the drawer like in the middle, and inside is a leather-bound book. Picking it up, you open it to reveal draconic writing, but you can immediately tell that it's coded, and there seems to be some sort of cipher here. So you'll need to decode the book to read it. That would take some time for you, Benson.
Yeah, that'll be a job for later.
A project. It'll take you, out of character note, just for your purposes, it will take you 6 days to read the book.
Okay.
And that's,
Now that's to decipher it, right?
yeah, that's based
Okay.
on your intelligence.
Okay. I'll hold it for later.
Because you'll read it as you decipher it.
So if your intelligence was 0, it would take you 0 days.
No, you're going about it the wrong way. I'm not going it's a modifier deal. It's
So can I check this room for any switches or anything again, or
no switches. Yeah,
All
it's this appears to be where he actually, like the journal you're holding, you assume is where he actually put his real notes. Everything else
Okay.
is just a facade. And the tea looks like it's the same kind of teapot that the fire elemental outside was holding. So it might be the case that he had them come in to give him.
I tell the group that we have one other switch that we can hit to see what it does.
I'll reach under there. I'll hit that switch.
Okay.
You all look like you were having a good time in there.
Wall on the right slides away. On the opposite side, you see a massive glass arch that seems to just be sitting on the stone. And in its center, there's kind of a radiant kind of sheen. It almost looks like oil on water, kind of like the way it moves through the air, but it has kind of more of a yellow kind of coloration to it.
Looks like urine.
Like an
Stuff that's
oily,
not hydrated.
like an oily piss on water just floating in the air. Yeah.
Go touch it.
As an arcanist, you would realize that this appears to be a portal.
Oh, portal. Neat.
Yeah.
Any words on it or anything like that? We can
No.
see where it goes.
The archway appears to be made completely out of glass, which can hold as a powerful magical kind of conductor, and it looks like it's been utilized to create this portal way. You can't see beyond the oily yellow weirdness, but you know that if you were to walk into it, you would move beyond this plane into wherever that space goes.
Do you guys want to see where this goes?
Would we
This
be
is
able
where
to
we're
come
supposed
back?
to- we're supposed to take the blue mask here, aren't we?
Is this where they said to
No,
take
we
it?
were already here in the beyond. I thought
Yeah, we
this
are in
right
the
here where
beyond.
we are is the beyond.
Where you are is the beyond, correct?
So, like, the big question
That's
is...
further beyond. That's beyonder.
Based
So
on just
this-
the outline of this place, there's no way this whole building, or this building that you're in, could fit in the tower that you were wandering around in.
I'm gonna take a look at the map again, see if there's any notation to it for that portal, maybe.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm not doing anything with the portal right now.
There's really no notation. If there's anything about this portal, or any, understanding of what the portal would be, it would probably be in that journal, and that journal needs a lot of work to ferret out the information within it.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Unless you guys really want to jump in there, I'm not gonna stop you. I feel like it's a bad idea, but I won't stop you.
Will you come in then?
Adventures for the bold.
Again, not gonna stop you. Kinda have a thing going on with this blue mask.
Alright, I'm gonna roll a d20. High, I go in. Low, I don't. 5, I'm not going in.
So,
Heading back out into the hallway, and it's like,
the old Caliret castle. I can't arrow through this doorway. I have to move.
okay.
Oh man, this place really opens up.
A little bit. So there's a T section. There's a door at the end of it. There's a path to the right, path to the left. Path to the left terminates at a door. Path to the right looks like it kind of winds on a bit.
Well, to quote Shambles, he is a left man, so...
Just favor left when I'm exploring.
Open the left door.
Rock runs all the way back to the beginning of the place. Then
I
runs
appear to have been
all
to be
the way.
lost. Can you put me in the right spot, John?
You bet.
I got lost. Croc was thinking about going through the portal, but he decided against.
The door here opens as you approach it, similarly to the door that you kind of entered in before. And stepping into this space, hold on a second here. You would see two massive hourglasses that occupy this irregular shaped chamber. Their glass globes are nearly 15 feet across, with each hourglass rising almost to the ceiling 30 feet overhead. Each is suspended by chains, pulleys, and gears in such a way that it can be turned over to set its sand running. Slumped against the wall at the far side of the chamber is a dead body.
Again,
His dark robes are charred and torn.
I'll check on him.
Yeah, look at the body.
Now,
I'm assuming it's here-ish.
kind of, yeah. The body here appears to be dressed in kind of purple robes, similar to the guy you saw waving the mask. But you're pretty sure that that guy was the guy on the bed. This guy appears to be someone different, possibly in like the same kind of tier in the cult as that guy. And apparently,
Okay, so he's dressed the same.
yeah, apparently he was killed here. Looks like he's been dead in here for a while, maybe a couple days. Looks like his throat was slit.
So
Look
I'm-
through his belongings.
I'm
go ahead.
wondering if there was just a power struggle amongst the top level of, the followers about who's going to be the next one.
Looks like his all of his things were kind of taken from him.
All
Take
right.
from him everything.
Right. Is that just a lighting issue that X?
It's
these
actually
pillars?
no, that's the you can't see through the hourglass.
Oh, it's an hourglass. That's
yeah,
right.
I'll move them. That's fine.
No, you're fine. It just looked strange, the shape of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are the hourglasses like?
The sand's all
Are
at the
they
bottom.
going? It's all at the bottom. And the same on both.
Yeah, but based on the way that they're kind of hanging, if you push, they'll kind of rotate on their own.
Um. I'm curious, but we're on a mission here. So,
Door number 2.
other door.
Oh, sorry. Who said they were sifting through his stuff?
I did.
Shambles.
Oh, sorry. I answered you incorrectly. He doesn't have much, but he also has a dragon mask in his attire. Looks like he
What?
pulling it out and looking at it. It is the same design as the one that you acquired, the real one, but this one appears to be false.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll put it on. Oh, look at me, I'm a jackass. We have fun here.
You assume Ixan planted it on him or possibly used the fake one before he got the real one to kind of allow him access where he probably didn't belong.
Funny.
Okay,
That's
you're moving
alright.
away from the hourglass room, not doing anything with it?
Well, I don't know what the hourglasses do. I understand we could swing them. You said, like, flip them over?
Yeah, you can if you want.
You guys want to? Could be a trap, could be important to understanding this place.
Could just be a timer.
Yeah, I'm not real interested in it. I'm more interested in the portal.
You're
than-
more
Yeah.
willing to go through a portal than flip
Right.
over an hourglass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Why don't you investigate the hourglasses?
You're the one who's magically trained.
I can go check them out.
Classically trained.
I'm gonna
Brooklyn,
go
are you
check
moving
out
to
these
that door on the
hourglasses.
north there?
Yeah.
Okay. You
No.
open it,
Doing that?
Back off.
and inside, you can see
Now.
that kind of, moving into the chamber. It looks like the floor appears to have kind of a patterning to it that's almost like someone drew a stairwell on it, but it's just a flat two-dimensional image of a stairwell. And across from it, like kind of it's settled in the middle, you see a circular pane of crystal that's about 10 feet wide on the far wall, and it appears that it's looking out onto a city covered in fire, wreathed in absolute flame, in what appears to be kind of a dome that you're kind of looking into, like you're looking, or not a dome, like a sphere that you're looking into. The city's kind of on the outside, wreathed in flames, and in the center of this dome, floating in it, appears to be what looks like a rocky dragon egg. Anybody familiar with the religion skill, or trained in it rather, would note that this is one of the gates of one of the 13 gates of Ashtar, and you're looking into the Hell of Greed.
Oh, interesting.
Is it cool?
It looks like it'd be hot.
It's the opposite of cool. It's on fire. But if you take some time to kind of examine it, Benson, you would notice that the crystal pane is nothing more than a scrying plane, which is allowing you to look into the hell, but not move into it.
Okay. I would let him know it's a viewing area. We can't get in, but we can look at it.
Okay.
You should go look deeper and pay more attention to it.
What are you looking deeper into? The scrying glass?
So, like, I'm gonna pull out the Caliret small, since I forgot I had that, and like tap it to the floor just in case, like to the circle of the stairs.
Nothing. Oh,
Okay, it's like a key.
It's probably that.
Yeah.
So you're tapping on the stairs. It doesn't seem to matter what you're tapping on the stairs with, but the second you do, the stone starts to descend down and kind of drop down as a full staircase.
I'm sure it would be the hourglass thing. Sweet.
Do
You going
just
down?
Send the staircase? Do you look into the hellfire? Do you go to the other chambers?
I'll go down the staircase.
Okay. You start to feel a temperature difference very quickly, and you start to realize that you're kind of leaving this space for some other space. Like you're entering into a cold, dark, kind of cavernous space, whereas the walls outside felt warmer. There was like a temperature to them, like you were in a nice estate, versus now you're kind of feeling like you're descending into a crypt. And if you keep going...
Yeah.
Okay. Is everyone going with him?
I'll follow him.
Sure.
Okay. You very quickly realize that you are descending in such a fashion that the steps slowly start to kind of fall into shadow, and the steps behind you also do. And it very quickly becomes like the few feet of steps in front of you and the few feet of steps behind you are all that's kind of existing in this dark tunnelway that descends down and down, further down, until you manage to come to a point where there's a wall. And pushing open the wall, kind of seeing that it is a facade, a door, you realize that you are entering into a tower space, which appears to be familiar to you. 1 second here. You exit out back onto the first floor.
No!
Oh, perfect. No, this is perfect. We gotta get rid of the other guys.
From that position, the stairwell appears to descend further down into the ground.
Do we want to keep going down?
I mean, why not? Shambles,
Yeah.
you want to clear this place out eventually, right?
Might as well
Might as
figure
well
out what
see
it
what's
is now.
here.
Check it out.
Downstairs. Basement party.
If you descend down, it comes to a point where you're in a very large kind of cavernous chamber, which I don't have a map for, that has a small port built inside of it. And it looks like there is a single tunnelway on the far side that leads out into darkness. There are a couple of ships that are placed there, and you actually see what appear to be about 15 or so dead cultists. It looks like there was a skirmish here, and several individuals died. It looks like there are a number of boats present, but it looks like there are a number of boats missing from positions as well. Almost as if about half of the boats that were present here, 15 or so boats, only half of them remain.
So this is the way that the Banish wants us to figure out.
This is the port Banish wanted.
Yep.
And we have to find a way out of it, back into the bay.
And once you know which exit is the exit, you can have them move their boats through into the space.
Okay.
But before that, this
We
tower
should
needs
clear
to
this
be
tower out.
empty.
Yeah. So we
If
can
you
go
go-
back up the steps.
Go back up the steps to the first floor. If you go further up the steps, you come to a landing, which has a staircase on the opposite side of the landing that goes back down. And if you go down those steps, you end up back where you began at the bottom of the steps on the first floor, as if the path upwards has now become barred to you.
Okay, so we got to go back into the.
And you have an
Do the
endless
circle.
loop of stairs that keeps going back to the first floor.
What if I backwards long jump, like, really fast?
You would realize getting back on the teleportation circle, speaking the word
Or's old name
Kotzig.
is Kotzig.
King Caliret, and then up to Caliret. You'd be back
Kakarot.
into Vegeta. You'd appear back inside the Beyond.
I'm just gonna speed run up to where we left. Okay, there's the room where we found the staircase. There's
Staircase
the-
is closed.
Got it.
Okay.
Mirror or the crystal pane is still showing hell. Everything is as you left it, with the exception of the stairs. All right.
Okay.
Coming into the Go ahead.
Rock north.
Coming into this room, there's kind of a bit of a light kind of shining out from the left side. You see what appears to be kind of like a small table, and on it is kind of like a bronze and kind of ornate looking like travel lantern, just sitting there on the thing.
Do you want to identify it?
This light seems to glow with like a hellish fire.
That could be cool.
Yeah. Pick it up.
Hell lantern. That's a
Right.
paladin thing.
Yeah. Bring it over to Benson and be like, hey, you want to check this out for me?
I can identify it.
Thank you.
If you take some time identifying it, you would realize that it appears to be nothing more than the implement or the generation or the thing generated from a magic jar spell. It appears, or like a binding spell. It appears that something is bound inside of it, some elemental being of sorts.
Here we go again.
Woo! That's
Could be
fun.
help. All right, looks like there's not a whole lot else to do except for
The
turn over
gates.
those hourglasses and wail on the rest of the cult until they leave.
And also the portal. Don't forget the portal.
Practically, yeah.
Okay, if you want to turn one, I'll turn the other.
If you turn them,
It's yours.
you'll see that
Strongest.
nothing really changes other than the sand starts to fall from it, but you do hear kind of like a grinding sound as they shift, like the chains and everything are kind of creating like it's not a very well-oiled process. And once they finally get to the tops, the filling, you're pretty perceptive. Croc and Shambles, the two of you would notice that it appears that there are small bits of not sand falling from the
Hourglass.
yeah, there's stuff in there that's not sand. You're not sure what, but something.
Is there
people.
sand in there as well?
Yeah, lots of sand. Absolutely.
And then there's some other substance
That's
in there.
like clinking through, like on the glass, like falling in. You can see bits kind of falling through it. Yeah, they appear. It appears like there's. It appears that there is stuff like maybe gems.
Probably earth elementals.
Yeah, maybe gems.
I don't know anything about that. So what's the
Yeah.
mask? Why was Masked Man here? Why was he killed here of all places?
Don't know.
I'm assuming I don't see any obvious place where the mask should be placed or etc.
When you flipped the hourglass, you did see that both they are topped and bottom have like a mechanism to enter into it, a very small mechanism to throw something into it, but there doesn't appear to be any way of kind of getting in and retrieving something.
Can we turn it sideways and reach inside?
You can try and shuffle through it. Are you kind of sifting through to try and grab at something that fell in there?
Yeah, I'll try to grab one of the gems or whatever it is.
Okay, roll a D100.
And do. 16.
Roll a D4.
1.
Grab 3 small little diamonds, tiny little diamonds, and you can feel them kind of like pulsing with magic. If you hand them over to Benson, and Benson quickly pulls out the goggles and inspects them, identifying them, you would realize that they are a minor magical charm. The diamonds are worth about 100 gold pieces if you were just to sell them, but you can actually focus on them and kind of look through them and teleport yourself from your position to a position within 30 feet, and then the diamond dissipates.
It's a blink.
They're called jaunt stones.
I'd let him know and hand them back to him.
Cool. Pocket those.
Okay.
Still need a place to put this mask.
You could shove it back into the
It went into the hourglass?
It could go into the hourglass if you wanted to. I'm saying that is a place you could put it.
I would have expected there to be a mannequin bust kind of thing where it belongs.
So far as to say, you have not found such a thing.
What if that is like where the portal leads to? Because that mask is a big deal, so I'm assuming if they feared somebody could come in here, they would want to put it behind somewhere else. And we only found it because Benson was looking through the desk. And if you're just coming in here to look for a mask, you would search all the rooms first before inspecting just a map desk.
We could try the portal.
You try the portal.
Let's try you guys really want that portal?
I had to work for it, but I got it, dang it.
Are we going through the portal?
Let's go through the portal.
Let's go through the portal.
Oh, shit.
Stargate.
Are you taking the mask with you or leaving it here?
Yeah, I'm taking it with me. We're going to be in the Wraith Ward.
Bear with me here.
Right, Raya's just got to sit here and play with a whole new party because all of us got our own new characters. We'll just die. It's the death portal.
We each have to roll goblins for his army that he got with him.
His army he was loaned.
That wasn't the plan, but it is the plan now.
Or orcs, or Comus Palatinus.
Yeah, there's also others in the orc group. It's not just orcs. There's hobgoblins and stuff.
One of us, if you roll 2 100s in a row, you get Raya. So it's like a two personality character now.
Wait a minute.
I'm just pulling it to the map. I'm not notating where you are because you don't know, but you move through the portal space, and the very first thing you see beyond is a sand-blasted wasteland. That seems to stretch out forever and ever. It seems that you're standing kind of high up somewhere on a mountain. The mountain itself is kind of just rudy red, or kind of just rust colored. And down below, you can see what appears to be kind of a rent in the sandblasted wastes. A massive just canyon that kind of curves through it. If you kind of turn to your side, you can see a very vibrant, bright green gem of a forest and a massive blue river kind of trailing out around it, kind of separating the bright reds and the bright greens of the land you're kind of looking at. If you'd like, you could go ahead and make a history check. If you are proficient with navigator's tools, I think, you can make this check with advantage.
30.
Mishrael.
Oh, yeah.
He's been doing it the whole time.
I'm just bored.
I'm sorry, Bobby.
Sorry.
We didn't expect you back.
Do.
Okay.
I think Jody got it.
Yeah, Chody, you immediately recognize where you're at. You, if you had to venture a guess, are on the southern portion of the Tyrant Mountains, which are
Way the fuck away from anywhere we've ever been.
No, but it makes sense because you found the blue mask in the Southfront Plain is where the blue dragon is said to live.
Oh, I thought he lived in the north. That makes sense. Okay.
Southfront Plains. Jeremy's right.
Do we see? So we're just literally on a mountain.
You are literally standing on a mountain. Yeah, it's like
So they're
a plateau. There's no gate back. There's no nothing. It's just a one-way trip to
Just
here.
chilling.
okay. I'd like to.
Toxic?
Make no check needed. You do see that on the ground near where you're at, there are lots of kind of just indentations in the ground, as if someone had pounded a hammer into the ground a lot.
Right.
There's
Get the hammer.
Rookless?
Out of character note, you would know Caliret's ability to teleport was implemented by him slamming the hammer onto the ground.
Ah, got it.
I don't think that works anymore.
All right. I'm
what
gonna
you
look
do.
around and see if there's any shelter or anything that I can see.
No,
No caves.
nothing. There's
If I
a.
slam the hammer down, I don't teleport.
Are there
Do
any
you-
trees?
Do you slam the hammer down to try and
Yes,
utilize it? Okay, you're not attuned
Okay.
to it. Doesn't do anything.
I'm afraid to attune to it, knowing it was Ashmodeus.
Probably not a good idea.
I used my brain this time. I didn't just say yes.
Oh.
Plus, it's two-handed, and I like using my shield. So
That's
Where's Totzig?
The hell's a Totzig? Is that the dragon?
that's the
Todd
blue
said
dragon.
yes.
Dragon.
Dragon.
Blue.
Yeah,
The
he's down
asshole
south
I've
somewhere.
got to talk to eventually.
John, are there any trees around?
There are not.
Okay.
Down the mountain.
Yeah, there's
You can see
yeah,
the
there are trees to the south. Yeah, you can see kind
So
of.
I could teleport us that way. We could do that too. We can go anywhere.
Yeah, if you wanted to
place
get
I've been
down the
to.
mountain that way, I mean, there's other ways you can get down the mountain. Everyone here flies. It's not like you can't just drop down there. If you wanted to get out of here in a teleportation fashion, you can go anywhere but here, even to a place you know. This just summoned you out in the middle of
Right.
nowhere.
But
Yeah,
why?
you're really not that far away.
Why?
He's
Yeah.
He
why
said that-
is?
I'm sorry. He said there were lots of hammer marks around, so this is clear that Caliret has been here a lot for whatever
Guess
Right.
reason.
this is where Caliret would go to meet Totzig.
That makes sense.
sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
It's also probably where he got the mask from Totsvig. Because I'm assuming Totsvig had to give him the mask. He couldn't just make it if it summons him. Or her.
You would know that it is a part of her dragon. It is a dragon skill.
Oh, okay.
Ideas of it being a set. I think that's over.
Yeah, to the west, you'd see the Viren's Woods. To the south, the South Run Plains. You'd see the Cleft Canyon, kind of to the southwest. And you're standing on the southern highest peak of the Tyrant Mountains. And for the history of 30, you would know that the Tyrant Mountains gets its name because it looks like an eye tyrant. The mountains from map above, or beholder, if you will. The Cleft Canyon is said to have been forged from an old riverway that ran out of the Knives, which is a set of 4 rivers that run on the North Run Plains. The Viren's Wood is a very jungle-like atmosphere, very much more hostile than the Anguis Woods, which you're familiar with. And the blight in between is sometimes referred to as the breach between the Anguis and the Virens, which is kind of this kind of grayscale area there. You would know that that was formed by the Green Dragon Kenkazarat to separate the domain of what was and what is. Not many people know what lives in the Viren's Woods other than things that kill things.
We had a job back in that time.
Oh, it's hot as hell out here too, by the way. Desert weather.
I don't suppose we had a teleportation circle in that tower, did we?
No.
No.
I can get us back there.
Right back there?
If there's a tree nearby that I could recall, yeah.
I'll count the hedges as close enough. You could teleport to the one right outside of the tower. That's fine.
You also have Tower of the Bright Star for teleportation circle, and you can all just fly across the river to the dark.
Yeah, but
then they have to go through
I'd
the
be
hedge again.
embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed because we got sailed over there.
Yeah, but from
Yeah.
Finish, not from the Bright Star. Bright Star is just that one guy.
He's not even there anymore.
How you want to get back?
I vote plant thing.
Plan thing it is?
Plant magic.
Okay. If you
Really
opt
sad
for
it's a
plant
yeah.
magic, what you'll note is it teleports you right to that brush, that plant that Grok was aware
Shrubbery.
of. But when you enter inside of the hedge maze at this position, teleporting into the tower, you would realize that the tower's facade is not showing a door or a balcony. You would realize that you have to fly back to the beginning of the hedge maze, make your way through it to get to the.
I remember exactly how to get there.
You remember the exact process, so you would know that instead of taking 4 hours to figure it out, kind of wandering in weird paths
like
and such,
8 minutes.
it's more like an hour and a half. By the time you make it to the tower's face again, it is nightfall. It is dark out, yeah, you enter into the tower, step onto the teleportation pad, speak the word, whichever one it was that gets you into the master bed.
I know a
And
bed that we
Caliret.
can go stay in.
Caliret to move to the beyond. Yeah, I know a bed you can see.
Yep. Anybody want to sleep in this bed?
It's not enchanted
Real comfortable.
anymore.
It'd be a fun experiment if he's holding the hammer.
Brooklyn, hold this hammer. Ah!
Bro, Brooklyn attitude.
But if you end up back in this space, yeah, you would find that there's nothing else to this place other than you'd want to go down to the bottom, find the path out, and bring that to the master of the Curious of Benage.
And also clear the tower out with the rest of the cultists.
Sure, and if you're just asking them to leave and presenting yourself as the leader of it, I don't need to roleplay that. I don't think there's anything that you're going to get from them.
No, I'm telling them all to leave, and if they all hate each other, all the better.
Yeah. The
I'll
ritual
clean up bronze later.
the ritual casters say that they will leave and come back to finish their ritual when they're called upon. And if you remember, the ritual was to allow for Totsvig to come through. And if you ask more questions about that, that's one thing that might be important. Basically, they say that in the beyond there's a portal to go and speak with Totsvig in their domain.
Really?
This would create a return route.
Yeah, we
Oh, we'll keep an eye out for it, but I didn't
Well,
see
if you want, we
anything
can
like
remain
that
here and we can
while
do-
we were there.
Well, if you want, we can remain here and continue the magic. We haven't finished. We're trying to make that link.
No, it's
Okay, we're leaving.
best.
They leave.
It's best you.
And you said all the
vacate this
cultists were going to where to lair up?
the bronze shrine.
Bronze Shrine. Got it.
Bronze shrine, nice out of the way.
Noted. Okay.
Yeah, then we can just sort
Tower cleared.
of map out that port
The lamp.
maze and
Front
What-
Shrine's a nice middle of nowhere.
What'd you do with the lantern?
I still have it.
Okay, did you put it in a bag or you just had it out?
I can put it in my bag of holding.
Okay, that's fine.
oh, the hammer.
No. The
Hammer
Lantern.
too.
the
but
lantern.
is-
Are you putting the hammer in your bag?
I don't have any use for it. I'm not attuning to it.
One sec.
It's a brand new bag of holding. I ain't even put anything else in it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, you might not ever again.
So as you're kind of making your way down the steps, heading towards the chamber, Brooklyn, your bag of holding explodes. All of the contents fall out, and you actually notice that some of the contents aren't there.
So I had the hammer and the lantern.
Is that all that was in the bag of holding?
Yeah, it's brand new. I literally hadn't put anything in it yet.
Roll a d100. See if you
Okay.
took the lantern.
Somebody else
57.
lay in that damn bed.
The lantern lands on the ground. It looks like there's cracks in the glass now. The bag of holding is obliterated. The hammer is gone.
Yay, back to no bag of holding again. Woo!
Yeah, buddy.
It sucks,
Wow.
man. I feel for you. That, like, seriously, just it sucks.
No, yours turned inside out. His exploded.
But I lost all of my stuff,
Only the liquid.
my inks and everything.
Only the
I
liquid.
remember. It was hilarious.
Precious inks.
I'll pick up the
They were
lantern.
magical.
They
Okay.
were.
Yeah, it's slightly cracked. As you kind of pick it up, you hear a voice.
You say hot sauce?
Just
Hot sauce?
a strange sound. Sounds like someone speaking it, but it doesn't sound like words.
Oh, it's probably a language I can't understand.
It's really funny you guys said hot sauce. I mean, it kind of sounds like what I said, but yeah, it's funny.
It's totally hot sauce.
Hot
sauce,
hot
sauce.
That spicy little demon in
I'll
there.
Benson's
hand it
not
over
allowed
to
hold
Benson to
that.
see if he
No,
can
you
understand the
won't.
language.
What happened last time you gave Benson a person in a jar?
I didn't give it to
Hey,
him last time. He
you
took
need
it.
to back off, buddy.
I'm just asking if he can hear the voice too.
That got us through this tower, no problems at all. It was just a, hey, we're cool, peace.
You got a whole army at
Yeah.
Vermont Shrine.
Right?
I'll be honest, I didn't want to use that thing, but the rest of you insisted we do. You kind of
It
owe Benson
worked.
an apology.
Just saying.
I'm not there.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're
I'm
the-
not,
you're
I'm
the
just
only one
asking
that
if he
wasn't
can
there.
understand the language of what the thing is saying.
Anyway,
You make it to the boats. You take a couple of them. You head through the waterway. You find your way easy enough. There are no markings. You try to leave markings, and you very quickly realize that it doesn't seem like the walls are capable of having marks left on them. There's calcification, and you very quickly can see that it's kind of forming over pretty quickly. Like there's some sort of earth elemental presence here that's kind of letting the water shift it back into undaunted and like cut as you kind of try and carve into it, paint onto it, whatever. Nothing works. And you assume that's the same way in each of the tunnels. But when you come out, it's very quickly easy for you to indicate which one is the tunnel that happens to be the tunnel you'd want. It's the 15th one from the left,
worse.
or the 47th one from the right.
I was gonna say I was hoping it was the first one from the right.
You just started from the wrong direction.
They'd be so pissed.
It's just that one. If you just tried a couple times, you'd have been fine. No, like I said, there's
All right,
dozens of those.
let's get back to Benish with the good news. Tell the Luxodon we don't need him, so we have a boat, and
Okay.
we're all expert sailors, I imagine.
You guys row
6
your
weeks
boat
later, we returned.
gently down the stream, or you could just teleport from the boat and leave these dinghies just hanging out. You don't have to actually take boats as badass spellcasters, you know. But I would assume at that point, you would send your sending spell to Raya and communicate your position, and he would communicate his.
I would not tell him about the demon.
Well, of course not.
Yeah.
No, sure. If it's a
It's in
demon
my
at all.
language.
Again, I said it's more elemental than demon, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, elemental. I wouldn't tell him about that.
Sure. So you would know that right now, Raya is currently in the town of Armskirk, and there's no means of you teleporting to Armskirk directly. You would need to. The best course of action for you would be Windwalk, or if you wanted to get there quick, or you could walk and make your way past the Saculum, past Agios, on the north side of the Black Fens to Armskirk. It would be about 2 days worth of travel.
I don't mind walking.
Looks like we're walking, apparently.
Okay.
Do I have my horse outside?
Your horse is not in Benish.
Where'd you leave your horse, Benson?
I brought it with us, and he stayed on the outside of the thing, didn't he?
Your horse is in Benish. That's right. You did teleport him to Benish.
Yeah.
That's right. You did actually state that. I'm
You
so
stabled him and everything. That's
I'm
right.
so used to you leaving the horse somewhere not here.
He did something
Poor horsey.
nice for the horse for once.
So you have the run-in.
I
So-
ride that.
Okay. Everyone else walks or flies.
Walk.
Fly.
It's still the same amount of time. So yeah, you can make it to Agios by the end of the first day, and then from Agios you can make it to Armskirk before probably evening time of the second day. Is that what we're doing?
Anything. Yeah.
1,
Sounds like a
2, 3, 4.
While we're doing that,
5,
I want to check out the book, John.
6,
While we're riding.
7, 8. So you've got a day's worth of its time.
That's fine.
Go ahead and roll me 3d20.
Go ahead and take it, fellas.
I got a 12.
I got an 18 and 17.
Okay.
Damn.
Roll d100 twice.
12, 7, 67.
Right. This will be factoring in for next session, looks like. As we continue the adventures without Raya.
Yay.
He's been sitting here the whole time. Just like, oh man, playing seems cool. Looks fun.
Just more planning sessions.
Uh-huh. You got a, what was the first one, 12?
12 and then a 67.
Okay. On 12, This would be after Agios, very shortly after Agios, as you're kind of making your way to the river that runs into the Blackheart Lake. You would see what looks like a very massive grouping of Darkflame mercenaries and goblins that you're not very familiar with. But you've been explained that it's probably either the Sharp clan or the Blue clan. But it looks like a lot of them that are dead. You also see a number of dead bodies of what appear to be Goliaths and elves that have basically just smashed together in a conflict. It looks like this is a couple days old, maybe, or about a day or so old. Looks like this fight was relatively recent, and it looks like there was a small fortification that was being put up by the Dark Flames that is about halfway through its construction, but it looks like it's been kind of left broken and battered by the assailants.
Yeah, man. That's exactly how we were trying not to do this.
This is reports that you would be receiving this morning, by the way, Raya, of the second day. It sounds like again, you're surrounding the road and trying to encapsulate it. Looks like they've broken out here on the northern road.
Unacceptable.
And then for the second one, 67. Perfect. Raya, you and a detachment want to survey the damage, I'm assuming, correct?
Yep.
So you and yours ride out. I would say you can tell me how many, the lower the number, the faster you move. How many of your assistants would you take with you? Would you want to take any of the other...
We
members?
surrounded the Black Fens, right?
Correct. You were
I have
surrounding it, yes.
Yeah. 500 Dark Flame. Roughly how many goblins from each?
About 1,000 sharps and about 300 blue.
Damn. And the Comostal Tennis is not super high number, correct?
100, but definitely the most
Okay.
elite of your number.
So nearly 2,000 in total.
Yeah.
Big area surround. I'll take 15 total, so 14 plus myself.
Okay, and are any of the individuals that you want to take with you members of the coalition's leadership?
All go.
Or are you the only one that's
assume
going?
somebody from each group is here for this.
Okay, but not the leaders.
No, maybe a second to somebody.
Okay, got it. Perfect. Perfectly fine. And so you ride out. And at the beginning of next session, what the two of you will come to find is that there is a conflict right where the two rivers meet on the north of the Blackheart. It looks as though a very large force of giants, hill giants, Verbeeg, and what you think might be death giants, have descended upon the forces on that side. The fort has already been obliterated, and you and yours are coming on one side of the force and seeing it happen, and you can see from your vantage point, and so can the other group, that you basically, the two small detachments, Benson and company, Raya and company, have come to see the destruction here at that riverside on kind of higher hill points on the other sides of the road. And I'll get a map for you sometime before next Sunday, and we will deal.
Just real quick, does that seem like it came from the Black Fens, like what we're attacking, or like a third neutral party?
It looks like they came from the Black Fens and just decimated the forces.
So
over here.
it's part of the target, not just something else happened to be here that fucked us.
Yep. And the giants that remaining, it does look like some have been picked off, but the giants that are remaining look like they're a substantial force that you're not sure whether or not you and yours can deal with, but I will get you some understanding of who you have with you company-wise, because you would have known them. You just rode with them. And then Benson and company, you already know who you are. And like I said, you can see Raya's force. Maybe not Raya, because that's how he works. But you can definitely see that there's a force of what you presume being Raya's affiliate there. And then the giants appear to be what's been described to you as the enemy. Okay, that's where we'll leave this session. Thanks for watching those that did, and we will go ahead and end the stream. We'll pick up next week. Let me double check myself here. Yeah, nothing going on that weekend. Okay, great. See you next week at 5 o'clock.